Here is another Lego tutorial from JAYSTEPHER, and today I'm going to show you how to build a nice sturdy roof using 45-degree sloped roof tiles. And some of the common pieces we'll be using be what's on this board here. So we'll be using an outside corner, inside corner, 1x2, 2x2, 2x3, 2x4, and then we're going to be using some ridge pieces such as the triple corner, a 1x2 ridge, 2x2 ridge, 2x4 ridge, and an attic piece. This right here. So we're going to be using all this stuff to build a roof. So one of the things that we are going to be doing is building with some plates. So I'm just going to take some of these 1x plates. Now this is just a roof in general, so it's not a big deal. So I'm just going to piece some parts of the roof together. Keep in mind that I want to make this roof strong and sturdy, so it doesn't just come apart. So I'm just going to put together a quick framework. Something like this. Now it's not quite a roof yet. Now the reason why I'm putting these pieces inside is because we need to make it strong, and those are called trusses. So I'm going to start creating the roof with the base plates right here. These are just plates. You can use solid plates if you want. I'm just going to do this so I can have attic access to this roof. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some 1x white bricks to put in here. We're going to start building the trusses for the roof. Now, what we're going to be doing now, we're going to start fortifying this, making this thing stronger. So what I'm going to do is start with the trusses on the inside here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start putting these 2x blocks on here like so, to keep the roof nice and sturdy. So we're going to start laying out a lot of pieces here. Let's get started on that. Something like that. Except we want to keep everything even. Now I'm going to note right now that you have to make your roof sizes have to be an even number of pegs. If they're odd, it won't look right. So make sure everything's always an even number of pegs. You'll be fine. Especially with the 45-degree sloped roof. So we're going to stick a couple blocks in here like so. Kind of like that. Alright, so as you see I've already got the frame already done. This is kind of what it looks like. As you can see, it's pretty sturdy underneath. So, kind of what it looks like. Now, how do we start the roofing on here? Well, first let's build the trusses up first. So what we're going to simply do is we're just going to take some simple bricks, come in here like so, and we're going to start piecing this together, and you'll actually see it's starting to look like a triangle. Just as long as you offset them by a 1x2 space, you should be fine. So as you may see, I'm getting close to the top here. Okay, I got the trusses put together. So this is a standard L-shaped roof. I'm going to cover some of the basic roof techniques. Actually, I'd say intermediate roof techniques for this. So one of the things we're going to do, we're going to start tiling this roof. Now I'm just going to use some of these 2x4s, and I'm just going to start tiling whatever. So I'm just going to tile right here in the corner. Okay, I got the first, actually 2 layers done. This is kind of what I was shooting for. And as you notice, this roof is very strong, it's sound, it ain't going anywhere. Now I left this off here because one of the things I'm going to plan on doing is I'm going to put a window up in this part of the roof. So it's going to be weird because I'm using corner pieces here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick some regular roof pieces like so. And come in and make an inset here, provided that I dropped a piece. So, okay, well, I'm ready to put the window up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick one of these little arched windows up in here, something like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting a truss in here, but this truss is just going to have a hole for a window, so I'm just going to start piecing this together like so. And we're just going to, and I used a nice brown window to make it look nice, although there's no house for this, but there we go, something like that. We'll just put this arch on top. And there you have it. Now the whole goal of this idea is, well, we have a little hangover at the edge. So I'm going to start just tiling in roof pieces. There we actually have a nice hangover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to tile this just up to this right here, and this back side of this roof, or the side of the roof. Okay, as you've noticed, I got the window placed, and this looks really good. And I got this side here done. I didn't do the ridge yet, so I'm going to show you how to do a good ridge. So I didn't quite finish this yet, because what we're going to be doing now, we're actually going to come in here, we're actually going to put a window here and stick it out, so you can actually, you know, those windows that usually stick out of the roof. So let's get started on that. Okay, I'm going to use one of these small brown 2x2 windows, and we're going to stick it off the roof, something about like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to make some wall elements. What I'm going to do is take a 2x2, or a 1x2 and a 1x3, and we're just going to piece it together like this. And then I'm just going to put it right about there. And then I'm just going to make it, put the window in, like so. And we're going to take another one, make one just like we did the other side, so something like that. Now the reason why I'm doing this is so when we come and put our roof tiles in here, they'll just come up against this, you'll see the white. Now I'm going to stick another one of these 1x2s at the top. Now we can actually start forming a roof. So we're just basically going to get some roof tiles. Start forming in the roof. The thing you got to really watch out is that you don't really want too many odd sizes. So let's take those out. Let's work over here. I just kind of jump around on the roof. If I find a piece, I just throw it in there. Now when it comes up to this right here, we're going to have to put a valley in here. Something like what we did here. We're going to have to put one here. So let's just go ahead. We're going to put a piece like this. Fill this in. Now as you notice, I've got a nice valley there. And voila! Now the trick is to not have the top of this higher than the top of the ridge of the roof. So, which it did end out perfect. So let me get started on this side. Turned out really good. There's the roof. Now we need to put a ridge on this. We're ready for the ridge on this part. So where do we start with the ridge on that? Well, you're going to need one of these attic pieces right here. And you're just going to put it right here. That nicely splices that in. And just a basic 2x4 ridge piece. Gives it a real nice touch. This is what it looks like on the inside. Nice window. There's the arch window. Very clean roof. Now I got a hole in the back here. We're going to do something a little different here. What we're going to do is I'm going to come in and we're going to put a shed dormer roof on the back of this area here. And we're going to add some windows in there to show you that you can mix two different slopes of roofs up. Okay, well, in order to put a shed dormer window and roof system in here, we're just going to do like we did with the other one. We're just going to use a 1x2 and a 1x3 for this. And I'm going to take 3 small 2x2 windows. Kind of just insert him in here like this. Now the only thing that's different is we're not going to put that truss thing at the top. So let's kind of figure out what we're going to do. So let's start filling this little spot here in first, as I had a little 1x2 spot in here. Then I'm going to take some 33 sloped tiles. Start placing them on here with the hangover like that. And as you notice, they're two different slopes. Now the whole goal is you want to make this meet up at the top here. So if it's odd, it's not going to look good. You can make it look good, but it's going to be difficult. So let's just start tiling this in. I can't tile that in yet because the other part of this is not done. So let's start filling in the holes. We just need to come in here now and fill some more of this in. Now up here it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, because if we come in and put a tile in here, even though we'll have to put a wall element here, this is not going to look good. If this were a white piece, it'd be better. So this will have to be filled in here with something. I actually managed to find a 2x8. So I'm just gonna stick it in here like this. Now you're probably wondering why I left that little hole there. Why don't I just flush it up with the edge here? Well, I wanted to kind of match the inset right here. So we're just going to take a 2x2 tile. Now you have a little bit of that white showing there. You can start tiling this in. And there you have it. Okay, I have this finished up, and I ran into an error. I had to move this thing over by one peg this way, because this is going to be hard to cap off in this corner. Because before, this thing was supposed to be a piece like right here. It wasn't going to look good. So when I moved it over, I could fit a whole piece in here. So like I said, you know, you got to really watch out for the roofing. So I'm just filling this in. That's why I don't like using two different slopes. But just for demonstration purposes, it looks good. And there you have it. Nice shed dormer roof. Now we need to worry about the ridge. Well, the ridge is pretty easy, as you've noticed. This is probably one of the easiest parts of the Lego set, of the Lego roof that we can do. Okay. We need to put a corner right here. So how do we start this? Well, we're going to take one of these triple corner pieces, stick it like so, And we're just going to stick a solid ridge piece. Now I like to try to keep my ridge pieces pretty even. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stick one of these 2x2 ridges here. Now I want to take another one of these attic pieces that we used down here, put it here. Now we have a nice corner of the roof. So now you can actually see this turned out really well. Let's kind of get back over here. There's our shed dormer again. And we're just going to start ridging things in. This part is very easy. This is really easy to get a hold of. And we're just going to come in here. We'll just take a cap piece here. And let's just fill that in. There, we got the ridge on top. Looks pretty good for a roof. That even came out nice and smooth. Detailing here in the front. Get some better light here so it looks good. Here's underneath the roof. Here's inside that shed dormer. You can see outside. There's the other window. Really well built. Pretty strong. So it's a really strong roof. And I'm hoping these ideas will help you guys out there to come and actually build a nice roof. Now you're going to have to use all those pieces that I showed you at the beginning of the video. Most have a few of them. Most of you guys out there might have just maybe a few of the pieces or have all of them. And if you don't, my only suggestion is instead of using sloped bricks, use these. Just stack them on here like you normally would, like I did with my roof. Yeah. So I hope this video helps you with your Lego creations. Add, subscribe. Thanks for watching.